The #1 killer in the world, scientists believe now they might have found a new way to treat heart disease. Welcome to what could be the medicine of the future, a DNA-altering drug. Doctors at the American Heart Association's annual conference say they can rewrite DNA in liver cells to reduce bad cholesterol. NewsNation's medical contributor and board-certified cardiologist, Dr. Dave Montgomery. Okay, this is groundbreaking, but I'm sure some are saying this is playing God.
Yeah, good morning to you. Not only cholesterol, though, Adrienne, any number of genetic abnormalities. Think about this. There are tens of thousands of genetic abnormalities where, we don't have an answer to in medicine. We're sort of dancing around the issue. So what if we could go to the genetic abnormality, which is very often just one letter off, right? And the whole vast alphabet of genes, and change that letter to make the gene product normal. Somebody was wild enough to think about this, and that's where we are now. After all of these years of research, we now are we're using what they call base editing, taking out one abnormal letter or base pair and then bringing back in another one. This is breakthrough. I know we use that word a lot, but this really is breakthrough.
So how does it work? Removing the DNA letter, that essentially makes the codes in your body not recognize certain information, but also recognize the right information. Can you break it down in a more sciencey way?
Yeah, no, very happy to, as you know. The same technology to deliver these little toolkits, right? These toolkits that will go in and change the DNA is the same technology that we use to administer the COVID vaccine. They're lipid nanoparticles. And in the lipid nanoparticle, the little toolkit, there is the scissor, if we could call it that, the DNA scissor, and then some other repair mechanisms to make sure that the repair is proper. So it goes into the specific place where the DNA is mutated. There's a mutation, and it's very often just one letter. There's millions of letters on a gene. There's one letter that's there. So imagine how difficult that is to find. This machinery finds that place, cuts it, and then helps the body use its own natural repair mechanisms. We all have these DNA repair mechanisms, thank goodness, in our body to repair it. And then the product is this: a normally functioning gene. So for example, in the cholesterol abnormalities, in sickle cell, in cardiomyopathies, in various cancers, in HIV, there are these mutations that we could, if the mutations are repaired, we could cure the disease. This is massive.
This is huge. How soon could a DNA altering drug actually hit the market, and how much would it cost? I would think it's expensive.
Yeah, well, right now we don't even want to contemplate what it costs, but the science really is expensive. We are years out. The experiments have been started quite some time ago in primates, and so we're seeing a lot of really good data, particularly this idea that you can not only change the gene, but you might ask, well, for how long? And at least a year in some of these studies, the primates were making the normal gene. So this is very promising, not in humans yet. We've got quite a little ways to go here. But boy, if even on the horizon of 5 to 10 years, we can start curing some genetic diseases, I mean, human existence, literally human existence changes in terms of the #1 killer of people and beyond.
I think a lot of people are saying, why not be preventative than go in and try to change things? And then could that open the door to people changing the genetics of their babies?
Yeah, well, so two things. Well, genetics, there heretofore was no way to prevent it, right? You were born with that. As soon as the egg and the sperm meet, you've got that genetic. So there was no way to prevent it. Now we're saying we might have a way to prevent the disease from manifesting and causing people to have problems and maybe early death. In terms of the stewardship of the technology, that's going to be an ongoing, sort of debate, right? The ethics of changing genes.
Yeah.
If it gets into the wrong hands and bad actors, then we could obviously see some problems.
I see that as being more of a threat than AI. I mean, if you got somebody going in and rewriting somebody's chromosomes. But really quickly, Nick had a question, which I think it's fair. If you change and you remove a bad gene or a mutation, is there a compensation in the body by the good genes? Do those get affected?
Oh, Nick, that is so
Isn't
good.
that a deep question? I thought so.
Oh man, Nick, come do some rounds with me, man. This is great. So, the answer is we don't know, and that's one of the open questions, Nick.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your television provider, and don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.